Welcome to War Games. We will get you ready for your next sales opportunity. Are you looking to win the sales battle? You have joined the right team. Here on the War Games Group, we take the strategies and mindsets from the most successful salespeople and share it with you. With our help, you won't have to fail your way to the top. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that crossed before you. Prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for War Games to begin.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome, War Gamers. It's War Games Wednesday. Thanks for popping in. Take some time. We're going to learn something today from a personal friend of mine and a mentor that I was fortunate enough to meet through the automotive space, and he has gone on to expand way beyond the automotive space, and he is out, lighting the world on fire, taking names. I want to talk to you about Matt. For the last 20 years, he's helped business leaders. He is the guy that has taken the time to master communication. And so what does that mean? If he teaches you how to communicate better, then implements accountability with you, you're going to grow as a person, and you have nothing but up on your actual upside that comes through. So number one, hot new release author from Amazon. So he killed that one. He's also an elite life coach and a keynote speaker. When I met him, he was speaking. And then I crashed one of his parties to come in. So I get to say all this before I bring him out, right? Because it's like, hey, we got to get in there. And I'm going to bring another guest on later. That's the car sharker. And he's going to talk. No, sorry, Matt's off screen. So he can't hear me go through that one and go in. But yeah, so whether he's helping you to learn how to speak, create better social media videos, or just getting you through whatever life throws at you, because Matt's one of those people that's done everything and he's been through everything. So the best person to reach out to is the individual that can walk you through that. And so I'm going to throw some VIPs up on the screen. We got our resident stud, Brian Galkey, in here. Mike Phillips has come in. We're going bearded. We don't want anybody without a beard today. So let's go in here, and I'm going to also welcome up to the screen Mr. Matt Koenig. Matt, welcome.
What's up, buddy? It's so good. I'm so excited to be on War Games for the first time. This is awesome. And I've got a baby beard compared to you guys, but hopefully enough beard for today.
Yeah, we try. So, I mean, we're gonna give you a thumbs up for the, to encourage you to move forward as it goes in. But let's rearrange ourselves a little bit over here. And I'm going to say, Matt, why don't you switch with me? There we go. That'll work. And then Natalie has joined us. We've got a Facebook user who has come on. So that one we're just going to throw out and say, hey, Facebook user. But that's Anthony Camacho out there. So
what's up, Camacho? Long time no see, buddy. Hope
right. We got Margot. She's chilling at a chiropractor waiting for an appointment. So she's going to turn it on when we get to listen to the cracking later. So we'll be able to hear that one. So we're doing good. And oh my goodness, look who's in the audience too. Oh, Mike Phillips is in the audience and he's on the screen. I'm excited.
I'm excited. In the Matrix.
Yes, fantastic. So Matt, warning, Mike's got a soundboard.
Yes.
Yes, and Mo has made it too. So Mo wanted to throw up there. He made it. This I'm going to warn you now, Matt. Ron Siegel's here. And so
I said I'm going to warn you.
I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm going to try to limit the amount of comments I share when Ron Siegel's in the audience. But yes, now great. Thanks, Mike. Now I need a soundboard too. Tyler's already got it in there.
Mike, Joe, I've got one right here for you. Not to throw out affiliate stuff, but I do deal with like some of the best sound equipment ever, and I love the guys at Sabine Tech. So I've got a wicked sweet.
Awesome. That's awesome. This is the song that Ron likes to sing all the time. That I have friends in low places.
Ron and I will get along well then, man.
Right. It's the War Games basement, and Ron works the door. So as you go in. So Ron and I have been kicked out of a lot of groups together. So, but Matt, what I wanted to do is I want to give attention back to you because I like to hog it up no matter what. But with you got the big side of the screen, which means you're here to share with us, this whole group of entrepreneurs, the people out on LinkedIn. We've got people on YouTube channels, people out there that are going to say, hey, I either want to get a business going or I need to kick mine in the butt and I need some help going forward. And then when we get to the end, if we have time, we're going to make Brian read your face the way he does. So he's going to have to stare at you a little harder while we're on the call.
Good. Stare hard. Subtle
good,
way to make it awkward early. Way to make it awkward.
Yeah, I really want to do it because as you're moving, he's going to be judging you. So just, feel free to stand still or move around.
Well, you know what the best part is, Joe? I'm at a stand-up desk because I don't want, probably because I want to end up at the chiropractor for a back adjustment later too.
Right.
But I'll be moving a lot because, as you know, Joe, I have a hard time standing still. The only thing that's going to keep me rooted where I am are the monitors in my ear. Otherwise, I'd probably be walking around the room like I'm at one of the rock stars.
Those are the same monitors Eminem uses when he's on tour. I'm just going to.
Well, I was going to turn on the auto tune and do something for you at the end, but maybe next War Games.
Hey, going back to what you're talking about, the auto desk, I love it. I have the stand-up, sit-down one. I end up standing 75% of the time. It's great.
Yeah, same here. It's great because Apple, every time it reminds me to stand up, I just hit the button, stand the desk up, and stand up. I'm like, yeah, I hit my goal today. There was my movement goal.
I find I only stand up when I'm walking. Otherwise,
you don't stand up when you're sitting?
No.
Walking to the bathroom doesn't count, Joe.
Oh, well.
Says who?
Well, I took my Apple Watch off because it was so wrong. I know there was more steps than what it told me, but yeah.
Well, it's funny. You brought up, we bring up the fitness stuff, but I'll tell you, here's a funny thing, and this will actually transition well, speaking of Apple Watches, right? You obviously get your text messages and everything to your watch too. And it's funny because as today we're going to talk about texting, and I'm going to talk about 3 key areas of texting that are valuable to people. We're going to talk about using it for conversation, for building community, and for cash flow. Because at the end of the day, everybody's already using texting, right? I'm not going to waste your guys' time by going through the stats. I'm just going to share a couple highlight stats with you because I think they're important and they apply to business. All right. We already know that 9 out of 10 people read their text messages, and actually 93%. I was looking at a stat earlier today. It's a 98% open rate versus 20% for email. These are the most recent stats, but 95% of people respond to a text within 3 minutes. Now, those are all nifty stats that we all know for communicating, but here's the one that matters for making money, and that's this. 48% of customers, according to eMarketer, 48% say that they want brand updates by text. That's like half. Half of the people that you encounter, no matter what your business is, say, look, if you'll send me updates, offers by text, I'm in. And that's a weird thing because if I'm being honest, I get so many spam emails. Every day I wake up to over 200. By the end of the day, I have nearly 400 spam emails. There's so many now, I can't even look through them for the good ones anymore. But with texting, I'm noticing that I get multiple messages by text, like from businesses every day now. But the crazy thing is, I don't ever type stop to unsubscribe because I opted in for a reason. And I'm like, well, just in case there's something I want, I'm not going to jump out of these. So it's funny because unlike an email where I'm quick to hit unsubscribe, I'm like, come on, you're cluttering up my crap. With a text, I don't do that as often. So I'll dig in a little deeper on the psychology behind it and the importance of it. But I want to really hammer in on these things with you guys. And something from SMS Comparison, one of their stats said, this was an interesting one because the 48% stat was from 2019 from eMarketer. SMS Comparison had a stat that said 75% of customers want offers. So 48% said they want brand updates by text, but 3 out of 4 say they want offers by text. That is nuts. So I want to give you guys just a little bit of backstory, though, because I don't want this to just be, like Matt likes texting and Matt wants to sell texting stuff. So blah, blah, blah. But I want to tell you how I got into doing it business-wise, because here's the reality. I was in automotive for 26 years. Joe and Mike know me through that. That's where we encountered each other. It's where we all became friends. But the reality is when I got into texting, it was by ice cream accident. I had my kids and I took them to a Culver's restaurant. If you know what a Culver's is, it's like a super high fat, buttery burger, fast food and custard. It's delicious and horrible for you. And in 2011, I was sitting at a Culver's with my kids, and they had a little stupid thing on the table that said, text this code to this phone number to get a free custard on your next visit. All my kids have iPhones, so of course they were like, can we text? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Text, get your custard, whatever. So Culver's takes a minute to get your food out, and they take your order, give you a little thing, you sit at the table. So they did this immediately as we were sitting down, and our food comes, but before we're done eating, text message comes through that says, show this to get your free custard. And my kids were like, hey, can we go get our custard now? I'm like, well, I think it's supposed to be on your next visit so they can hook us to come back and spend more money. I said, but go ahead, see if they'll let you get it this time. If they don't, we'll just come back tomorrow or whatever. No worries. So my kids go up and they gave him the offer. And I sat there and I went, man, if these guys were smart, they would have delayed that message by at least 90 minutes to make sure we were already gone so that my kids could sucker me back for dinner. Like that would have been the wise thing to do, number one. But then number two, I said, if I could get a way to utilize this for car dealers, like I'm sure that I'm added to a list now. My kids are all on some marketing list. And I said, but this isn't big ticket sales. I said, but if I could get a way to actually generate a lead notification, I could use this tool to help car dealers generate more leads. And they'll love this and they'll get their wallet out immediately. Now, Mike will tell you, Mike knows from before what I've done, but his dealership's a customer now. And Mike can tell you later about the results, but just in 2 months, they've made what, 30x what you've spent to do texting, Mike, roughly, approximately. So with texting.
Yep. Sorry, I was muted. I was going to say, I'm not just a friend. I'm also a client.
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, we've done in the last 60 days for what for what we're using it for, about 30x in ROI. So it's really strong.
And
for the record, all the millennials
we're using it to generate leads. So there are a couple different things you do with texting. So we're going to talk about the 3 areas: community, conversation, and cash flow. But I want to start with conversational texting. But before I do it, I got to give you guys the honest disclaimer, and that is this. Don't do conversational texting with customers from your actual mobile phone. Now, you might be going, well, dude, how in the hell am I going to text? This is important for you to understand, though. When it comes to texting, it is the weirdest, grayest area for the Telephone Consumer Protection Act because they lump it in with robo-dialing and things like that. One of the key mistakes that most businesses make is that a customer will send in a lead of some sort and it'll include their phone number, and then a salesperson will start texting them. That is illegal. It is non-compliant. And just so you know, if you send a marketing message to someone who did not text to opt into a list, that message is worth $1,500 in fines. And if that message becomes 2, 3, 4, each individual text bubble is $1,500. Now, I don't want to start you off scared, but I want to start you off smart. Okay. So the number one thing you got to think about with texting is making sure you're compliant, which means anytime you're using text communication in business, you should be running it through a platform that the customer texted in to communicate with you on. Now, here's the beautiful thing. What I'll show you guys at the end and what I'm going to talk about today is that you can do conversational texting through a platform. Okay. It's just as valuable as through your mobile phone, but there are a couple key benefits to conversational texting through platforms. You've probably seen Russell Brunson, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, all these guys using a platform called Community. Like, oh, join my community, text this to this number, and then I'll really be texting you. No, they won't. They don't have time to do it. Their sidekick or whatever does the texting and pretends they're them. But the idea behind it is brilliant. And it's the only reason the Community app took off like crazy is because some big names did it. And those guys went, I don't want to give people my real phone number, which is very smart. Otherwise, your phone never stops going off. So it's a third-party platform. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to pay $100, $200, $300 a month for Community. You can actually set up your own texting platform to do it. But conversational texting does a couple of things, and I think you should write these down. Number one, it makes you a human being, not a business. Here's the thing. People don't do business with businesses. They don't buy from a business. They buy from a person. And whatever business you're in, whether it's real estate, coaching, automotive sales, sales training, people are not interacting with you as a business. They're interacting with you as a human being. And so by using texting for conversational purposes, it humanizes you with them. It builds credibility with them, and it builds trust. Somebody smarter than me a long time ago said, when people like, trust, and respect you, they'll do business with you. Texting helps them like you, trust you, and respect you more. Well, I know his name was Joe, but I think his last name was Birdie. But Joe Ingram, we still carry the torch of some of that old school stuff.
Yes.
But the truth is, if somebody like trusts and respects you, they'll do business with you. And conversational texting helps you do that. But here's the other thing for texting, and I'm saving cash flow for last because I'm going to hit you with some nuggets that are real easy. But the second thing is community. And when I say community, I mean like if you're a coach, like a coach, personal trainer, things like that, where you do information services, informational products, you can build a text community just like Grant, Gary Vee, and Russell and all these guys are doing by telling people, hey, join my text community where I share secret stuff, valuable stuff that I don't share with the general public. So for example, if I'm Joe Ingram and I've got the War Games group, maybe I've got like War Games 3.0 that's just a secret group and I don't share any of that content anywhere else. I could say, listen, if you want to be part of my community where we literally, there's only 100 people in it and it is a mastermind and none of the information that we share in this group is shared with the public, then you need to text War 3 to this phone number. And that'll get you access to the secret community. Somebody can text War and the number 3. They get a response back with a link to join your Facebook group, your whatever group, your Expertise TV community. But creating a community that people feel like they can belong to something is a great way to do that. But it also works for simple stuff like tanning salons. I had a client who ran a tanning salon and they just said, hey, join our texting club. That's a community. Join our texting club. And you get a free visit to, our standard level bed. Plus you get 10% off any purchase you make at the salon. By implementing this little silly feeling of they're part of some secret club, their business escalated through the roof. Within 90 days, they literally doubled the amount of people that they had with tanning memberships. They had literally just started out and they were super small. And I want to say it was within the first 14 days, they had 100 people text in because they wanted their free tanning visit. 25 of them signed up for monthly memberships where they were paying $30 or more. And it was my Jersey Shore days, just so you know, Mike Phillips, because guess who brokered a deal and got spray tans for free there as part of being the person that provided their text marketing. It was this guy who spray tanned 3 days a week. As you can tell, I don't get to do that anymore. I live in the state of Tennessee. We actually have sun. You can't tell that either by my pale skin today because it's winter still. So building a community, though, is a good way to utilize texting. But the thing that I think everybody really wants to hear about. So those are the things that are necessary for like building long-term business, staying top of mind awareness. The other thing about that too, building community, is staying top of mind awareness. Once you start building a community, then you can stay in front of your customers. So if I'm Mike Phillips and Mike does, morning verses with Mike every day. So Mike gets online every day and shares between 5 and 10 minutes, something awesome from the Bible, where he breaks down like a scripture passage for people. And hey, here's what this is about, and here's how we can use it today. But you know what? Not everybody's on social media at the same time. Facebook's algorithm, my wife literally has notifications turned on and is subscribed to me. And when I go live, she doesn't get a notification that I'm live. But then later in her notifications, they'll say Matt was live. And it's like, what in the heck is going on? But imagine if you had a whole group of people that said, hey, you know what? If you want to know when I'm going live, text MVM to this number and I'll let you know. And then every day before Mike goes live, he just shoots out a text that has a link to his YouTube where he's going to go live, or his Facebook or his LinkedIn. And now you could say top of mind awareness with people every morning. Boom. Hey, here's this. Or once a week, he sends out a recap. Hey, here's a link to go back and watch my lives from this week. And maybe he's got it embedded on a web page where all 5 of the videos are there. But those are ways you can strengthen your community and you can really stay top of mind and build those relationships so that people ride with you for the long term instead of one and done transactional relationships. Is that making sense so far?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now let me talk about what everybody wants, which is cash flow, right? We all want to make more money, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're in business, yes, to serve people, and yes, we want to get good results. And I truly believe the only way to make money is to actually be a servant to people if you want to make good money and long-term money. The reality is your goal is to make money. So I'm going to give you some things and I want you to write them down because there's a couple ways you can use texting for cash flow. Number one, write this down, is lead generation. Lead generation. If you're a coach, if you sell real estate, if you sell cars, lead generation with texting is better than anything else on the planet conversion-wise. Let me
Same
give
with
you an
insurance
example. When I
too.
started my business, I did figure out a way to generate leads for car dealers. And literally within launching this out in the first day, I had never done text marketing before. I leased a platform for $45, which by the way, now I know I like platform fee wise, I overpaid for because now I know how to do a platform. But I leased a texting platform for $45. It literally came with like 500 messages a month for the $45. And I created a sell sheet. Okay, like something like one of these deals, right? And it said on the sheet, get leads from customers after hours on the lot and from customers on your website. Learn more, text this code to this number. Okay. I drove to the bottom of the state of Indiana and I printed out like 50 of these deals. And I just started driving back up toward Michigan. Every car dealer I passed, I stopped, said, is your GM in? Hey, I want to give you this flyer. And just wanted to tell you about what I do. 9 out of 10, the GM's like, I don't have time to talk right now. Because that's what they do. Or their receptionists were like, he's not in. I'm like, well, here, give this to him because it's going to make him money. He'll probably be mad that you didn't tell him I was here. And instantly they were there. And then they still didn't want to talk and it was fine. But the funny thing was I would walk back out to my car and I would give it 5 minutes. And literally I would get a notification on my phone. I would call them back and go, hey, this is Matt. I see you texted in on the flyer. I just want to make sure you got that special offer that was sent back to your phone. They were like, this is who? I'm like, the guy that left that flyer you just texted about. Like, wait, how'd you get my mobile number? I go, the same way you'll get your customers' mobile numbers. When would you like to get together and talk? I don't know. When can you? Well, I'm sitting in your parking lot, so now's good for me. If you all of a sudden got free. And they would
You
like,
suddenly came to the dealership out of nowhere.
yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. And the funny part was the guys that I was talking to in person, I was like, here's the deal. I want to help you capture the phone numbers of people on your website. Now, no matter what business you're in, think about this. What if you could capture the phone number of someone while they're on your website? That would be valuable, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. It's even better. When I say capture, I should change that wording. What if customers would just voluntarily hand it to you while they're visiting your website? And this is what I did for car dealers, which now works for everybody, but it's especially valuable for big ticket sales, coaches, car dealers, trainers, consultants, real estate agents, boats, RVs, power sports, anybody who wants to get a customer on the phone. This is a great tool. Now, how do you do it though? How do you get them to give you your phone number? Well, it varies by business, but I'll give you a couple of examples. If you're a car dealer, like at Mike's dealership, and Ron gives out Joe's number, which I think is the smartest move anyway. If you're a car dealer, though, you put an overlay on a picture that says, get a special offer on this vehicle. Text this code to this number. Now, pause for the cause. Some people go, well, but what's the offer? What do I make? Ooh, isn't that the fun part? Well, a couple of things. One, your offer's got to be good enough for the customer to want to answer the phone when you call to validate the offer. But two, typically, when you're making an offer, you just got to say, what's an offer worth them trading their phone number? Well, if you're a big ticket item like car dealers, boats, RVs, things like that, you just want to say special offer. When they text in and they get the response back, the text message should be an offer worth answering the phone. On a big ticket item like a car, anywhere from $150 to $300 is usually a good enough offer. And the response text should say something like, congratulations, here's $300 off of any vehicle in stock. We'll be calling in a moment to validate your offer. Make sure you answer. I want you to write these words down. Validate your offer. If you are making an offer online for people to text in and receive an offer, you have to give them a reason to answer the phone. Your offer amount, whatever that might be, should be a good reason, but validating the offer makes it a better reason. Now, you can put an arbitrary code in there. That's the same code for everybody if you want. So when you call and go, hey, this is Matt at the dealership. Just want to make sure you got our offer. Yep. I'm calling to validate that. What's the code that's in the response? Oh, 00436. Okay, perfect. The offer is validated. By the way, what were you looking at when you texted in? It's the next thing to write down. What were you looking at when you texted in? People have a habit of making things harder than they should be. And early on in this game, when I was working with car dealers, they were like, I want to use a different code for every car. I want them to text the stock number. And I'm like, dude, what percent of people switch vehicles? 86%, 83%, somewhere in the 80s. Okay. So 8 out of 10 are going to pick a different vehicle, but you'd like to spend, like, you want me to drop 10 grand building an API so I can pull your inventory, get the stock numbers, which, by the way, are going to create codes for cars that are wholesale or gone or sold or what. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. You're not going to make a different offer for each car. And it's like, well, but I want to know what car they texted in on. No, you don't. You don't care, because all you say is, hey, by the way, what were you looking at when you texted in? Simple.
Which gives you the ability to speak to the customer, which is what you're trying to accomplish to begin with.
Thank you. The whole goal is to turn it into a phone conversation when you're big ticket sales. Now, the other opportunity to create cash flow, I'm going to give you an example for realtors, because I know you've got some realtors in the group too.
Realtors and insurance people love this show.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to give you some examples for both of them, how they can use it. For realtors, same thing. Create a simple text code, but write this down. Make it an alphanumeric code. Now, hear me on this. Don't say, like, if Brian's a realtor, don't be like, text Brian to this number for more information on this house. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do this. The ultimate goal, though, is you want to get them on the phone, especially if they don't have a buyer's agent or they don't have a seller's agent if they're looking to sell. But if they don't have a buyer's agent and they're looking at your home, you want to get them on the phone because you want to become their buyer's agent, even if they don't buy your property. So if you put, like, if I put text Matt to this phone number for info on this home, they're going to realize, like, oh, that's not info. Like, it's the guy's name. It says it's his name. But if you put, like, text and you put some alphanumeric code, text 31XY7 for information, and they text in, I'll get that lead as a realtor. It'll reply back and say, thanks for visiting one of my homes. I'll be calling in just a moment to give you the link to view this home. Or you can reply back and say, thanks for visiting my homes. Here's a link to all of my listings in case you want to see the other ones. That could be in there. And you could say, I'll be calling in a moment to make sure you don't have any questions or to answer any questions you have. And then as a realtor, you call and say, hey, I just want to make sure you got that link that was sent back to you that's got all of my homes, including the one that you're looking at now. Oh, yeah, I sure did. Hey, by the way, which property are you looking at? What street are you on? Boom, now I've got a conversation. Now, if you want to as a realtor, because texting is so simple when you know how to use a platform the right way. Look, if you're a realtor and you've only got 20 homes listed, you can make 20 unique codes. It's not rocket science. And then instead of having stupid flyers, and I shouldn't say they're stupid, but instead of just having flyers in a box that you're spending money for people to take or for the rain to ruin, you could instead, every time you get a home listing, spend $20 for something to slap on your sign that says, get this listing sent to your phone. Text ABC123 to this phone number. And when the customer texts in, you can set it up so that you receive a notification. And now you'll know every time somebody's interested in that property. Then you can call and say, hey, I see that you had texted in to get info on the property at Ridgewood Drive. I just want to make sure you got the link. Customer says, yes. You say, great. What questions do you have about that home? Or what are you looking at? Or you go into whatever it is you do to relationship build, and you do what you do best, which is sell. Okay. So as a realtor, you can use a generic code that sends a link back to all your listings, or you can create codes for each of your listings. If you're an insurance salesperson, instead of walking around thinking that on your billboards, people are going to remember your phone number, right? Like, there's a picture of me on the billboard. We got a guy that we go to church with. I love him to death. His name's Jared. Great dude. Your guy on the ride home, State Farm, Jared. Great big picture. You know what there isn't on the sign? A call to action with a texting code. Man, if I'm an insurance agent, I'm going to say, learn how you can, whatever the biggest bundle savings I could put together for insurance. If it's like your home, your auto, your whatever, if you bundle them all together, it saves you 30%. I would literally have on my billboard, learn how you can save up to 30% on your insurance today. Text 3123, whatever number code you want, to this phone number to get a special offer right now, or to get a free quote right now. Customer texts in, I get the notification, they get a response back. If there's a site they have to go to fill out their info, maybe I send that back in the link. If I like to close deals because I'm a good salesperson, I get their number and say, hey, thanks for texting in. Matt will be calling you in the next hour, next 30 minutes. Make a promise, keep a promise. If you say 30 minutes, do it within 30 minutes. But Matt will be calling you from X phone number to go ahead and give you your no obligation quote. Now, if you're if you're a retail business, do you have people like retailers that watch the show, Joe? Like
Yes.
people that own like small business owners, restaurants, things like that?
I don't know if my mic is on fire or not, but yeah.
I can hear you now.
Right. Yeah. Okay, good. So yes, we do. But Ron wanted to point out that the real estate people attend. They don't love it. They attend the show, but they don't love it. Okay.
I was wondering if he was real estate or insurance. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's real estate and he's a radio personality in the morning. I've been on his show a couple times because he lacks taste. So he keeps inviting me back. But
I love it.
yes.
What I really love are the Russian comments that come through.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, I keep saying that. I put them up and I'm like, hey, guys. All right, good. I'm big in Russia. Yeah. Actually, I'm big everywhere. It's just the
Sister
size
19
thing.
apparently is a big fan. That's
Yes.
so creepy.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know if I just cursed on the middle of the show or not, because when you translate it, yeah.
Yes. I invite Joe when our ratings get too high. You guys slow it down, Ron. You guys don't want to get too much attention.
No. Then you got to charge more for advertising.
Exactly. Well, and I'll tell you this. Speaking of cash flow, one of the best reasons for texting is to lower your outgoing cash flow to advertising. So here's the deal. A lot of ad platforms will allow you to upload email addresses and phone numbers to exclude people from ads. If you're running ads that are pretty much evergreen, but you don't want to keep showing up in front of people that have already bought from you or have already signed up for your programs, you want to be able to upload that list into whatever ad platform you're using so you can set exclusion rules. Okay. One of the best things for texting, I'll give you an example, 100-year-old restaurant in Kalamazoo, Michigan called Louis Trophy House. Now they're 102 years old, actually. Louis Trophy House was just under 100 when we first started doing business. So the restaurant had been around forever. They've been advertising forever. They've been known in Kalamazoo for 100 years, right? So when you think to yourself, and by the way, they were right on the edge of maybe not the greatest part of town. So you ask yourself, how do you grow a 100-year-old restaurant without spending a bunch of ad money? I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So here's what we literally did. First thing I did was look at what is his, and this is critical for all of you guys who are selling products and trying to figure out your ad costs. First thing I said to my now friend, Joe, that's one of the owners, I said, listen, man, what's your average profit per ticket? Like customer comes in, they buy from you. What's the average ticket? He said, well, the average ticket's about $30. Our average profit per ticket's $15. That's what we track across the board. And he's tight on his analytics, so he knows his money. I said, sweet. So you make $15 every time somebody comes in. He said, yeah. I said, out of every 10 people that come in, how many of them become a regular? He said 6. I go, what's a regular? How many visits a month? He said 4. They come back once a week, they become a regular. I said, okay, because I knew that their service was really good. Okay. I said, okay, so 10 people come in, 6 become a 4-time-a-month visitor. Is that correct? He said, yeah. And I said, you make $15 average every time per person, right? He said, yes. I'm like, all right. So if I can drive 10 people in here, that's $150. But out of that, 6 of them become a $60 a month return, like $720 a year. He's like, yeah, I mean, that's what it shakes out to. I said, cool. Here's what I want to do for you. And he goes, okay. I said, I want you to let me give away money. And he goes, what in the F is wrong with you? This is not how a sales pitch goes. I go, right? But hear me on this. I go, here's what I want to do. I want to run ads on Facebook and I want to give away $5 with no strings attached and no minimum purchase. I just want to give away $5 gift cards to your restaurant. He goes, that is the dumbest effing idea I've ever heard of, and I'm out. I go, well, you're not out because you haven't heard it all. So hear me on this. I go, number one, we're not going to print or do any physical gift cards. Okay. Number 2, if they don't come in and use them, it didn't cost you anything. Number 3, you make $15 per person. So giving away 5 still makes you 10. Number 4, I'm going to get people that don't come to your restaurant. So every dollar is a new dollar. I'm going to get you in front of people. And instead of making 15, you make 10 the first time. But if you do what you do right now, every time that you bring somebody in, which by the way, costs you nothing, you're going to make $720 a year. For every 10 people that come in, you're going to make 720 times 6. I'm not a math major, so I'll just do 7 times 6, 32, right? Isn't that right? 42. Okay. You're going to make $4,200 a year for every 10 people that come in. So for every $50 you give away, I'm going to make you $4,200. You still out or you want to get in on this deal? He was like, well, wait a minute.
Where do I sign is what he should be saying.
Yeah, he's like, explain how this works again. So here's all I did. I literally ran ads with no targeting other than I said, how far do people come to the restaurant? Because I'm like, I only live 3 miles away and I'm here 5 days a week because I love the place. I'm like, but how far do other people come? He goes, 25, 30 miles is tops. I go, all right. So I'm going to run ads at my expense for a 25-mile radius, 21 and up. This is what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to run an ad that says get a free $5 gift card, no strings attached. It's going to have a picture of your logo on it. They're going to have to enter their email address. When they do, it's going to take them to a thank you page that says, great, your email address is registered. Text this code to this number to receive the coupon on your phone. 2 points of contact. I got their email and I got their text message. Here's the best part. This is so freaking great. Literally within 90 days, and it was less than that, 480 new people added to their email and text list. In 90 days, their business grew by 30%. 30% in sales and profit. A 100-year-old restaurant. And now here's the part that you're going to really love. I'm going to be transparent and tell you how much I spent on ads. Are you ready? Well, I had the first week, I said, I'm going to run these ads for you before you sign up with me. I said, and when it works, here's what I'm going to charge you per month, which was $1,200. I said, if you don't feel like it's worth it, say no. But here's what I'll do. I'm going to run ads for free for a week. We're going to see how many customers you get. And if it's not enough, then say no and don't do business with me. Cool? I'm like, I'm still going to come back and be a patron at your restaurant. He's like, wait, you're going to run the ads? I go, yeah, all I need you to do is give me permission to give away your $5 gift cards. He goes, okay, done, sold. I'm in. Let's do it. I literally spent $50. I set a $50 ad budget for 5 days of ads. And I set our meeting for 7 days later. And all of the gift cards literally was when we initially started, it was a response back that said, show this text at Louis Trophy House within 48 hours to get $5 off anything any item on the menu. And it said, no cash value, not redeemable for cash, no change given. That was it. There's just a little simple, stupid thing like that. Well, a couple of things that I put on there. The reason I said within 48 hours is because the last day of the ads was 2 days before my meeting. So I wanted everyone to have had to have come in. In the first week alone, over 100 people texted in and gave us their email address in the first week alone. So when we had our meeting and sat down and I went, well, here's the 100 and whatever people that have texted in. And I go, how many of them have redeemed the gift certificate? Like how many of them? Because he put a little code in his POS so he could mark if anybody did. It was like 65 or 70 of the people. So here's the best part though, because some people will go, well, wait a minute, but they didn't all come in. No, but you know what they all did? Add themselves to our marketing list. So now moving forward, we could start hitting all these people by text and email. Well, his slowest day of the week was Tuesday. And I mean, dead as a doornail, dead. Now, Tuesday nights they're literally second busiest only to Friday night. And Tuesday, he brought in bar trivia because they were so packed. He was like, I got to do something to entertain these people. But it went from the deadest day ever to once we built up his list. After that first week, we started I said, hey, Joe, what's your dead day? He goes, Tuesday. I go, let's see if we can bump your Tuesday business. I go, what's a happy hour special you could do for Tuesday? He goes, can't at Michigan. It's like squirrely on advertising like booze stuff. So he was like, I'm going to put in here like half off appetizers between 3 and 7 p.m. Like sweet. Perfect. Good deal. So we started shooting out texts at 2 on Tuesday saying, come into Louis tonight for dinner. We've got half off appetizers and other cool specials. That was it. And it was like, boom. As soon as we sent that message out, the first day we sent it, Tuesday, all of a sudden went from having 4 people in the bar to like a third of the bar filled. 3 weeks later, he added he added bar trivia on Tuesday night because it was so packed, put some other specials together. And the funny part was the entire time, I never spent more than $150 a month in Facebook ads to drive business while consistently getting paid $1,200 a month. And all I did was set the campaigns on autopilot. Now, I tell you guys all this, not to show you that, yay, I get to make a ton of profit, because, yay, it's great. But now you multiply that times car dealers that were...
Matt, this is a car dealer.
that we're paying.
That's my wife.
What's that?
This is my wife's store. I want to work with him.
Oh, nice. Well,
and so she's the number one Jeep
I met
dealer
your
in
wife.
California. Yeah.
Didn't I? Or did I get to meet your daughter at Rockstar?
You met my daughter at
That's
Rockstar.
That's
Yeah.
right. I haven't met your wife yet. Well, here's the thing, and this works at dealerships. It works at anywhere, you guys. And here's why it works. It's because it's what people already use. We have this shiny object syndrome. No matter what business we're in, everybody and their brother is vying for our attention, right? Russell Brunson just bought out Dan Kennedy's newsletter company. They're trying to resurrect newsletters. There's nothing I'd like more than to get a newsletter in the mail to unfold. I love Russell and I love his ideas, but that to me, I was like, dude, I feel like you're going backwards. Now, he's good enough salesperson. I'm sure he's going to move forward and make a lot of money with his newsletters. But we're always looking for shiny new objects. And what we do, though, is an old GM of mine said this to me. He said, be careful that you're not stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Oftentimes, we're looking at companies that are coming in that are charging us $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month for fancy, snazzy, look at this cool integration and these nifty, handy, weirdo deal. You know what? No matter how much money we spend, I guarantee every single one of us watching this is the number one way we communicate. And if you look at the amount of data usage on your phone with Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever, you'll notice that text messaging is the number one thing you spend your time using. As a matter of fact, one of the stats that I looked at today said the average person checks their phone 96 times per day. What that says to me is if texting is not the number one tool that we're using for business, we are stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. And Mike knows, like, for years I've helped, and Joe knows this too, but for years, like, I've helped dealers by selling the service myself, right? We do the work, we do everything. You just write a check, easy peasy. And we still do, and I still will, and you're welcome to call me. Happy to charge you, happy to do it for you. But one of the things I love doing is I just love teaching people how to do it. Like, even as a coach, I'm an elite certified life coach. I do accountability and communication coaching with men. I work with men because my wife coaches women. So I don't want to be competing with my wife. Plus, I'm a man, and if we're being honest, we don't know women that well. Let's just be real. So if I were trying to coach women, what I would end up doing is making a lot of women mad at me. Yes, you can do this if you're not in property and casualty insurance. Well, yeah. And it could work if you're in property and casualty insurance too. Works with anything. Text message lead generation works with anything. But I'll tell you, like, here's the thing. No matter what we're doing out there, gang, no matter what we're doing, texting is the number one way that we communicate. And there's a ton of opportunity for us in business. When customers are saying, when 3 out of 4 are saying, I want discounts, deals, and offers by text, if we don't have a way to give them discounts, deals, and offers, we're missing out. So like I was saying, even with coaching, a lot of coaches out there want to put you on a continuity program where they want to, make sure they can continually charge you, a couple grand every 3 months, whatever it is. Anybody that's worked with me will tell you, I don't work that way. I work in 90 days to try and get you equipped so you can coach yourself when I'm done with you. And I like to do the same with texting. So I've shifted gears to try and help people learn how to run their own text marketing. And so you'll see across the bottom of the screen a couple of things on there. One says valuedriven.site/tap, which is text action plan. And the other one just says you can text TAP to 833-981-0002. Standard messaging and data rates apply. Have to say that to stay compliant. Anytime there's a call to action for texting, that's got to be in there. But here's the thing. I'm doing a pre-launch right now for a program that I'm going to be rolling out on February 14th. February 14th, the program will jump up. And the program, when it rolls out on February 14th, it's going to jump up to a couple $100. But I wanted to do a pre-sale rollout for this program. And I thought, what better time to introduce it than on my friend Joe's show, War Games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Or actually, I think Joe has to turn on the ability to share it because I've got it in the shared thing, but it's not up on the screen. So when Joe jumps back in, I'll have him share the screen, but I'll walk you guys through it. But I want to share just kind of a couple things with you on what I teach people to do in this texting action plan. So it's designed to do one of two things: either help somebody who is going, hey, I want to start a new business, learn how they can actually start their own text marketing agency and do what I do. Now, somebody might say, well, that's kind of dumb, dude. Why are you creating competitors? I'm not. I'm creating a platform where I teach people how to do what I do and the majority of my income comes from teaching people how to do it. And I just let the money keep rolling in for the clients that I already have. So I don't really care about creating competition because I'm a firm believer that there are enough businesses in this country for every single one of us to make a good living. So my priority is now teaching people how to do this. So the text action plan is designed to do two things. One, it's designed to help somebody start their own agency if they want to start a text marketing agency and actually learn how to do it right. But the second thing is, for anybody doing business now, I'm going to teach you how to set up your own text marketing platform, so you don't have to go lease one from somebody else. Now you can. Simpletexting.com, Line Cellular, there are a million of them out there. And here are the critical things to look for when you're texting. And you might want to write this down. Number one, do not use a service that has a short code. Let me say that again. Well, you might not know what a short code is. Short codes are those 6 or 7 digit numbers. Like
what's a short code?
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
When you see somebody say text war games to 55678, those short numbers used to be fine, but they ran into a ton of problems, and I'll make it very quick. The problem is they're almost always shared. If you're using one that's unshared, you're spending big bucks every month, like at a minimum a couple $100 a month to have it dedicated. But shared short codes create a problem because if somebody texts replies stop to opt out, like let's say Joe Ingram's got his short code, right? So he says text Joe to this number, but then Mike Phillips has text Mike to the same shared short code. Well, then let's just say my man Mike Phillips, and this will be funny because it's not Mike and not what he would do, but Mike decides to he decides to go into the web business of doing adult sites. And that's not legal with texting.
It's for the beard.
It is. And so Mike's like text sexy to this short code, and Mike, like all of a sudden, the same person who's interested in Mike's services might also be interested in Joe's services. So they've texted and opted into Joe. But then they go, you know what? I don't want to get these text messages from Mike anymore. It's a little shady and I got my life together. So I'm going to stop getting porn texts. So they opt out. They reply stop. But when they opt out of Mike's, they've also opted out of Joe's because the short code was shared. So when you're on a shared short code, when somebody opts out of anyone else on the shared short code, they've opted out of you because they're opting out of receiving text messages from that phone number. So that's number one reason you don't want to use shared short codes.
Hey, Matt, can I share something real quick right now while you're talking about texting and so on and so. Well, two things. One, earlier in the show, he's talking about how I share my morning devotionals, and then now he's talking about how I'm sharing sexy, but it's the beard. One of the, as Matt's talking about this, and I full disclosure, I've been a longtime friend of Matt's and Joe's. Matt approached me with this in November timeframe?
Yeah.
And said, hey, if you're interested in doing this, I'm back in this arena. And so as a car dealer, I will tell you one of the unique things, because even then I was skeptical. You and I had a couple conversations. I'm like, hey, we're already doing the text thing. We've already got the overlay. Like we've got it all together. We've got this stuff going on. And Matt and I worked through it. He said, look, man, here, give this a shot. Let's try this. So the unique thing, whether it's a car dealer watching, an insurance agent, a realtor, you may think that you're doing it right now. And there's a bunch of different ways to slice the pie. But even if you think you're doing it right now, I can tell you definitively, we generated over the course of a little less than 60 days. We're not quite 60 days in yet. Generated roughly 25, 27 incremental leads. That's one of the keys, is it's not people that that was one of the things I thought, well, these people are already on my site, or I'm already going to have this information, or they're going to already submit a lead somewhere else. Right. Mm-hmm. But one of the things too, as Matt has, as we've communicated and gotten the information, I go back and I review the lead data. Joe, you'd be proud of me for that. And the interesting thing is it's not people that are already in your system or are submitting other leads. It is incremental to our business. Therefore, as we've sold vehicles, and they're a bigger ticket item, and I did do the math while we were sitting there here, we're right at not quite 60 days in from our investment, just the texting portion that you've been helping us. We're about 25x as far as our ROI. In a little less than 2 months. And again, they're incremental sales. So you could look at it and say, oh gosh, you've made 3, 4, 5 car deals so far. You're making a couple every month. Well, it's a couple incremental sales that you probably would not have had before. So depending like you were talking about restaurants earlier. And it's like, okay, well, there's 100 incremental people. There's 65 incremental people coming in. How do you prove that? Because all of a sudden Tuesdays are a big deal. Same thing with us as a car dealer. It's a smaller number, but it's a larger profit margin. So just my 2 cents real quick.
That, Mike. That's good stuff. And
Ron
Absolutely.
wanted to point out that you need to choose better on your friends, Mike.
I'm going to give Joe credit as being
Ron, send me a message.
Yeah. So Ron said, I guess this doesn't work anymore because he's got his short code on it.
Oh, yes. Well, and it is funny, and I will give you the last piece of why the short code you don't want to do, and that is in 2019, it was shared by AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon that they were doing away with short codes. They didn't yet because COVID hit, right? Which COVID meant less staffing, less whatever. But T-Mobile did start it because T-Mobile had Digits, which is their voice over IP, like Google voice competitor, so that if you had a business line, you could add like multiple phone numbers through them. Their voice over IP, like T-Mobile Digits, you can't text a short code. If you text it, you can send it in, but you won't receive a response. So the thing is, they are phasing them out. And the main reason they're phasing them out is because of compliance, because short codes have different compliance things. So a lot of companies overseas just like snap up shared short codes. They go lease platforms that are reasonably priced, and then they just start blasting people. They capture phone numbers through their scams, spam, and other little wonky deals they do where they buy a list of phone numbers and then they just start blasting people. And so short codes are on their way out. So you need a full phone number. Now, I use toll-free numbers and local numbers for different things that I do. If you are a local business, you should use a local number. And part of the texting action plan is I'm actually going to teach you and show you where you can buy your own texting platform with a lifetime license for $19. You heard that correctly. No monthly platform fee. You'll just be able to buy the rights to the platform for eternity for under $20. I'm also going to teach you how to get your own local or toll-free phone number. Local number for $1 a month. You heard that right. Toll-free number, $2 a month. You heard that right. And I'm also going to show you how you can get text messages where you don't have to buy blocks of them or buy them in bulk or pay any monthly platform fees. The only monthly fee you pay is for your phone number, and you'll pay 0.007 cents per message. Meaning, if somebody texts you and you respond, it'll cost a whole 1.5 pennies. To put that in perspective, if you send 1,000 text messages a month, you'll spend a whopping $15. The platform I used to use, Simple Texting, which is a great platform, charges $45 a month for 500 outbound messages. That should put it in perspective. It is 1/3 the cost of that. So that's just one of the things that I teach you in the texting action plan program. And Joe, if you want to share, I put share my screen, but it isn't showing on the screen. But if you want to share that, I can kind of just walk people through it. But when you text tap to the phone number on the screen, again, standard text and data rate supply, you got to say that to be compliant. But here's the deal. So this is launching on February 14th. So I've got it pre-sale priced because I want to make sure that I get a crap load of people in here so I can get some great testimonials so that when I actually start running ads on Facebook and charging a couple $100 for it, I've got a big pile of people saying how great this program was to help them start doing their texting. So it'll either help you start an agency. If you already have a business, an agency, it'll give you another arrow in your quiver to be able to sell text marketing to your clients. Or if you just want to use text marketing in your business, this will be a great help to you. So here's the deal. You go to valuedriven.site, not .com, valuedriven.site/tap for texting action plan, and you can buy it right up here. But there's something else that I've got on here, and that's this. If you're one of those people that go, yep, I can follow the directions and have my own platform set up in less than an hour, that's cool. But if you're one of those people that go, no, I'm going to go out and sell text marketing, but I don't feel like setting up the platform. All you got to do is check this box for $150. I will set the platform up for you, get your local phone number purchased or toll-free number purchased for you, and I will pre-purchase 2,000 text messages in the plan for you. That's all included for another $150. But the texting action plan itself, which will teach you how to set up your own deal, it's only $47, you guys. And here's all the stuff, right? There's a big long sales page to get you all hyped up on it, but here's all the stuff that's included. So I won't bore you with reading a page, just like I hate when people read slides. It drives me crazy. But here are the things that are included that I will read. Okay. You get lifetime You get access to a lifetime license for a page builder. What's a page builder? Well, here's the deal. If you were on from the beginning, I told you that with Louis, what we did was we ran a Facebook ad. You cannot run an ad that says text this code to this number. They won't let you run that ad. It's not doable. You have to take them somewhere in the ad or do a messenger thing or something like that. So you need to be able to create a simple landing page. Well, good news. You will, and you'll actually have a simple way to lay it out, but you'll actually get lifetime access. If you think ClickFunnels runs $100 a month to be able to have 20 funnels, well, you're going to get lifetime access to a page builder platform where you can literally build unlimited landing pages, as many as you want. And I value that at $300 because it's not a whole funnel builder. I mean, you could build pages and link them together, but it's designed for you to just build a landing page and a thank you page. So you get lifetime access to that. I'm also going to give you the no pressure sales pitch action plan, which basically is going to walk you through, like, here's how you pitch this product. I'm going to teach you how to back into the deal just like I did with the restaurant. So you can get them to say, all right, I'll take a risk on you. Let's see if you can get me some customers. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You're also going to get the value ladder action plan, which is going to walk you through how to show a business where their profit is and why they want to do this. So I'm going to walk you through how to actually show them how to step up into their profits. For example, one of the people watching earlier was going to a chiropractor. A chiropractor is a great person to sell text marketing to and to help them establish a continuity program. So if somebody signs up to be a chiropractor or to be a client of a chiropractor, you get them in your texting platform. You say, hey, you know what? If you join our texting platform, then you get X amount of dollars off a monthly deal where you spend $40 a month and you get one free adjustment every month. So I'm going to show you how to do that with them. You're going to get the text funnel templates action plan, which basically the 3 most powerful texting, like lead generation, continuity program, membership stuff, like with copy for your ad, with copy to put on the table when you're trying to do it as a restaurant, the exact wording to put in a text message response. You're going to get those super like high converting text funnels. You're going to get those included in this. You get the low budget, low risk ad strategy. So this is the fun thing. You're going to learn how to actually run those like super low dollar Facebook ads that actually generate provable results for your clients right away. You're going to get the continuity program strategy. So you're going to be able to learn how to teach customers how to create a membership program, like for tanning salons, nail salons, barbers, like everybody that does a service could create a continuity program. They just don't know how. And you're going to get the fast action bonus of how to overcome any objection. I'm going to teach you the 4-step method to handling just about any objection on the planet, as well as how to identify excuses from objections and things like that. So you're going to get all of that stuff included for $47 instead of having to pay a couple $100 for it February 14th. Now, here's the deal too. If you hook up on this right now before the launch, you're also going to get some wicked sweet bonuses. You're going to get the text funnel templates that are part of that. You get the low risk, low budget ad strategy. You get the continuity program. You get the page builder access. You get all 4 of these like literally within 48 hours of hooking up. So you don't have to wait until February 14th for those. But on top of that, you're also going to get the training on how to set your text platform up within 48 hours too. So you're going to get the how to set up your platform. You're going to get the access to the page builder. You're going to get the text funnel templates. You're going to get the ad strategy. You're going to get all that stuff within 48 hours. And then you get the rest of the story on February 14th when the full training launches. So there you go. That's the sales pitch here at the end. But before I just wrap it up, quick question. I mean, was there some value in this stuff?
Dude, this was insane. And that's why I put your link at the bottom and the text tap to the phone number. I put it because the answer was, I was like, I don't want everybody to get to the end, have to wait to the end for a call to action. Right. So if everybody's going, dang, I love this. I love this. I love that. I'm like, well, here, take advantage of this. And then later you'll find out what you were so excited about. But yeah, Ron Siegel also said this may be a fun radio program where you come on his radio program with him and he broadcasts it out to the world.
Oh, dude, that would be so awesome to be part of. And just so you know, this works internationally too. India is one of the only places that's a little sketch because they use WhatsApp. So texting is a little weird to integrate over there because their service sucks. So, but it doesn't matter if you're here, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere where you can text message, because the integration is with Twilio, which is literally one of the best known companies on the planet. So the texting is fast and it's easy. And Ronan mentioned earlier in a comment something about radio sponsors too. I will tell you, it's if you're running radio ads and you're like, man, are they converting? Are they working? All you do is create a separate text trigger and that's specific to a radio ad. So let's say you're running a print ad here, an online ad here, some other ad here that all have text codes. You can set up different triggers and set up different lists for segmentation. So like if you text Matt to that phone number, standard messaging rates apply, then you'll get an update on like where I'm speaking next. And you'll also get to download one of my like video planners absolutely free just by joining my list. So like for radio stuff though, like if I'm running an ad for a restaurant, if I'm doing like 4 different areas where I market for them, I might use a different text code on their landing page from Facebook. And on a radio spot, I don't need to do a landing page at all. I just say, hey, the Country Kitchen wants you to join their texting club. Text pancake to this number right now to get a free short stack of pancakes at the Country Kitchen. And then when they text in, now I've got them on my marketing list. They get a text that says, show this to your server within the next 3 days to get a free short stack of pancakes with any purchase. Like literally, it's that easy. And what you'll know is if people come in and they show you the coupon, boom, now you've got proof that your ad worked. If you already have a Twilio account, the cool thing is that you can ignore the part of the training that tells you how to set up the Twilio account. I would just encourage you'd need to buy a different phone number in your Twilio account to utilize with the texting, Ron, because you don't want it to cross over with the one that you're already using. So yeah, that's it. Good question though. And yes, I like nice act today, but more. Yeah, with when my beard gets bigger and I put on my my Billy Mays face and my hair gets bigger, then I'm like, but wait, there's more.
There's more. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I told Matt earlier. I'm like, dude, sell something. We're a sales group. We don't fear a presentation for something, and we want something of value, because as entrepreneurs, why are we sitting down spending our time to learn how to sell something? Because we want to sell more. Your program helps them to sell more. Plus, at the same time, I'm going to get stuff in February from what I'm buying today. So it's almost like delayed gratification with the instant gratification of getting on board now for $47.
And the funny thing is, and like I put it right on the site too. Look, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, but because it doesn't come out until February 14th, it's an even longer guarantee than that, because you can get 100% refund all the way till the 28th of February. I guarantee just the bonuses you get at the beginning are worth more than the $47. Like that right there will make you go.
That's less than a meal we'd spend at the 102-year-old restaurant.
Exactly, bro. Especially if we're drinking like peanut butter whiskey or picklebacks. Come on, that'll cost way more than $47.
Perfect.
Yeah, like here's the thing, you guys. I know this works. I've done this. Mike's a customer and a friend. Mike's making money. The reality is this, and this is why I waited till all the way to the end to tell people about the page too. I firmly believe that you have to earn the right to offer people your services. If you're going to charge people money for something, what they're getting should exceed like dramatically what they're paying for. And I appreciate you mentioning it earlier because I put it in my bio. So thanks for reading that. But I had an Amazon #1 hot new release book that I literally wrote by audibly dictating it from my car during my daughter's horse show. And I did it because I had a crap sales experience with somebody, and I said, people really need to learn how to sell. And there's a million sales trainers, and they've all got fancy words, but 9 out of 10 of them don't actually teach people to give a crap. And I wrote this book called Sell, Changing the Game Forever, and Sell's an acronym for Serve, Evangelize, Listen, and Love. And it was literally like, you got to start with the mindset that you exist to serve their wants and needs. No matter what, when you're interacting with somebody, they have to leave better than they were when you met them. You got to be an evangelist for yourself, your product, your brand, the company you work for. If you don't believe that people's life is worse without you, you're not doing it right. But none of it matters if you don't listen to them. Because if you listen well and understand what they want and need, you also know to tell them at the beginning, you know what, this might not be right for you. You save them time, you save you time, and then they can still like you and refer people who it might be good for. And the last thing, which is the word that always weirds people out, is you got to love the people you're serving. And when I say love, I am looking at the Greek word agape or agape, which really means be benevolent, right? We got to have a heart of kindness and compassion toward people. If you're going to succeed in sales, I love that Zig Ziglar said you can get anything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And I miss his Yazoo, Mississippi voice and all the good Zig Ziglar day stuff. But there's so much truth in that, man. So that's why I wanted to wait in the end, because I wanted to make sure I gave you guys tips that you can go make money with now, whether you buy from me or not. if you go back and rewatch this video, you will have strategies that will make you money. Some of them are included in what I just shared for the TAP program, but I would just challenge you guys and encourage you, if you're not using texting, now's the time to start. If you don't want to waste a bunch of money making the mistakes that most people make, buy this $47 program. You'll get the tools you need to succeed. And best of all, you get access to me. And if you actually visit my site, if you just go to valuedriven.site, you'll notice on the bottom, and it only shows on mobile, but on the homepage of valuedriven.site, there is a link right at the bottom that says text Matt if you got a question, and it will actually push through to my mobile phone, and you'll get me. There's nobody else handling it. It's not, some sidekick. I don't pay one of my kids to do it or anything. But if you go to valuedriven.site, only on your mobile phone will you see this, but you'll see a little green bar at the bottom that you can't see. There you go. It says click and press send to send Matt a message. When you click it, it'll open up your messaging on your phone. It'll pre-fill a message that says, I'm on Value Driven site. I got a question. And it'll send a text right to my phone. So if I can help in any way, if you've got questions at all, just feel free to reach out to me. You can connect with me on social. Best way is to go to valuedriven.site. It's got all my social links. It's got my text access right in the bottom. But don't wait. Jump on the TAP program, because, like I said, when it rolls out in the middle of February, it's gonna cost a couple $100, and it'll still be worth every penny.
Charles Coachman, you're so right. How did I do that? Yes. It's magic. I think I'm having mic issues today anyway, so it was better that I stopped talking.
Oh, what are you saying? I'm an issue.
Did I already kick you out once already? Yes, everybody saw you go out.
You make me sad.
Yes, it's perfect. All right, so Brian, do you have enough? You can do it, because Matt doesn't know Brian. Brian doesn't know Matt. And so Brian is a dear friend of mine, Matt. I met him going through the Bradley and the Lightspeed closer school. And then we became fast friends and started, conquering the world. And so Brian does facial analysis, and he's amazing. And I'm going to build it up. So if he messes up, he's going to feel really bad, and it'll be awkward again, like from the beginning. But
I already do. So,
yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my goodness. He was so busy. You're going to love this. I'm going to add to stream.
Yeah, so I went and stalked him on Instagram, because I'm
going to take us off and let's go over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at that.
So I went and stalked him on Instagram, because I figured out when I'm doing this that people can't tell what I'm talking about. And so I grabbed 2 pictures of him, but I liked this one because, me, I like to start with eyebrows, right? And so when you look at his glasses, they perfectly hide his eyebrows. So the straight eyebrows get straight to the point when you're talking to him, right? And then he's got a lot of what they call Einstein lines. You'll see it on the next picture, which means when he digs into something, he's not a surface level person. He's not bullet points or surface level. He goes in deep, right? So that's why I know that everything he's talking about, he's researched the hell out of it before he started talking about it. And then the fact that he's got recessed eyes over here is he's always sitting back and evaluating. So even when he's sitting there, his mind's always going all the time, right? But what we like to talk about before is, right, flatter upper lip, so he doesn't like talking about himself. So that's why people love him so much, because he's always asking everybody else about them. And then he'll talk about himself when he's comfortable with them, right? And then the courage lines here. So this is when you stand up for other people. And that's what I like on the business side of what he's doing is, we know that he's the one taking all the beatings and doing the testing and everything before he gives it to us as a vendor, right? But I want to show you one other picture I grabbed, because
hey, can I just bring you with me like everywhere I go? Because I've always wanted, like, I'm going to get you, sucker, like an entourage band, but I'd rather have you just walking around with a megaphone behind me, dude. You just became my hero.
Well, and everything that he's hitting is dead on. Everything. I've known you for a lot of years, dude. He is dead on.
Ron, you're going to be scared once Brian tells you I'm Einstein. But
so there you go. Now you can see. I don't know why it took a second to go.
That was at the theater with my wife the other day.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to put a picture of her up without her permission, but since Joe volunteered you, I figured, screw it, I'm going to grab that picture. But
you're good.
Talking about the Einstein lines earlier. So these are the lines. So these deep lines, they're earned 1 hour at a time across people's foreheads. So like when you see really long ones, those are people who put in a lot of time, effort, and energy. They're like the 10,000 hours people. And then the high and wide cheeks, he keeps going and going and going. And then when you see people with wide nostrils, right, they're risk takers, but then when they go out like that, they're like umbrellas. So the wider a nose goes, the more they want to take care of other people. So I know he's not thinking about it all for him. He's thinking, how can he help us? And that's the whole reason I stayed on the entire time, is everything his face says about him is the reason to listen to him and buy the product. So,
oh, dude, thank you. That is an awesome testimonial from a complete stranger. That is great. Man,
Ron eats too much. That's why he has wide cheeks.
And now later, all right, I'll PayPal you that money later. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
But yes, that was awesome, man.
I never want to miss a chance to showcase Brian's skills because they're subtle.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
What I did there. Subtle skills. Yes. So, but no. So I want to say thanks so much, Matt. It was amazing, and value you provided exceeded the $47 that you said to come in, right? Just from the training. So anybody watching this has already got enough from it. And that was one of the reasons I asked Matt on, was because he is that person that gives and tries to make sure everybody gets it and goes through. That's why his number's at the bottom of his own site, right? Why would it be there? Valuedriven.site. Get a hold of Matt, because he won't leave you in the dark because you can't figure out something that's on there. But I'll tell you right now, I already know everything that he's explaining and training is going to be understood because of the fact that those lines up on his forehead, like some of us have, right? That's going to say, hey, he's already done it the wrong way, so he can show you the right way, and he's going to put it together. And Mike's already used the product and he's got it. I actually got a text. Krista texts me and goes, was this a little magic text from Matt's thing? Because she's watching it. I was like, the text I sent that was a reminder. And I was like, no, I haven't got the offer yet. He just put it up. Yeah. And so, but no, I do. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on board. I do want to tell everybody here.
Thank you.
I think it's absolutely easy for you to understand that going to valuedriven.site/tap is the way to go. And again, for the price point, it makes no, even if you never became an agency, just being able to facilitate texting and getting your list grown. I mean, how much are people paying for lists, right? I have Kyle Wilson's going to be training later on in the month, and he's the guy who sold the list from like Success Magazine for millions of dollars because there was lists of people that were buying products in the self-development area. And he was like, boom, here you go. This list can get paid. And he worked with Jim Rohn directly. So that was the value prop. But
that's amazing, man. That is amazing.
So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Everybody out on LinkedIn, everybody out on YouTube, those of you here in our private Facebook group. I want to say thanks to Matt, because I typically don't let it run the whole time, right? I'm letting him go. He's just dropping nuggets all the way down. I feel like Little Red Riding Hood, right? Let's just follow the crumbs all the way back. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. And seriously, if you've got questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I mean, I look at it and I go, it's $47. It's going to make you money. But if you still got questions and you go, hey, man, I want to know this first, just reach out. I'm happy to help in any way possible. And if you want to know where I'm speaking, or you want to be up to date on stuff that's going on with me, if you want a free copy of my video planner that'll help you make better videos online, you can just actually text my name, M-A-T, only one T, nurse couldn't spell. Text my name to that same toll-free number, and you'll get added to that list. You'll also get a link sent to you with the free video planner, which is pretty awesome. It's PDF download, so it's pretty instant. And remember, standard text and data rates.
Ron, I'll send you pictures from Halloween that show you that it's true, that I do look like Little Red Riding Hood. And then Matt and Ron, I will text you. See what I did there? I'm going to text you guys in a group so you guys can schedule up your radio show, and then Matt can fix all your stuff, and you guys will run off in the sunset and make bundles of money. So
I love it.
All right, everybody, thanks so much for spending your time here on War Games. And as usual, I'm going to tell you to what? Go out and sell something. Thanks, everybody.